Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character existence by me. So let's get into it. Neuvillette. You had worked with the Fatui at one point, but immediately regretted doing so after. But you just hoped that nothing in the future would come and connect you to them, and hopefully cutting ties with them will be enough. Except it was not. Once they needed something, they would come to you and threaten you, and it was not something you could deal with anymore. You did not want to work with them, and a lot of the stuff they did were dangerous and sometimes very illegal. And now that you're in love with the Chief Justice, you did not really want to get to that point where you were getting in conflict with the law itself. You really would not want to put him in a position where he has to judge you in front of the rest of Fontaine. Not only would it break his heart, but it would break yours, and it could also cause him trouble for his reputation. So, you had tried your best to stay away from that work and all their stuff. But when they didn't leave you alone, you knew you had to tell him everything, even if you were afraid. But he deserved that honesty, and you needed him to know, so he could tell you what to do. And once you told him, you were afraid of him being disgusted with you. Except, he held your hand gently, kissing your palm. I'm sorry you ever felt like you had to do that. But I promise you, my darling, I will take care of you now, and I'll make sure that those Fatui never dare to hurt you or scare you in any manner, he said, and you felt yourself blush, the butterflies fluttering in your stomach. Are you really sure, Neuvillette? You trust me? Even after what I did? Of course I do. Now, please, tell me where you expect them to see you, and I will deal with them, personally. And deal with them he did. He talked to them, and told them that there will be no further connections with you, and even got to the point of him telling them that he would personally contact the knave if anything comes forward from them. The knave and him might not be on perfect terms, but as he had given her the gnosis, and she is a citizen of Fontaine, he is quite sure he has some leverage, and he can tell her to control those pawns. So, after all of that, he had gone back to you and told you, and you could almost cry tears of happiness. Neuvillette, I don't know how to thank you. You truly helped me. I don't know where I'd be without you. And you don't have to worry about it, because right now I'm still here. Now, please, stop worrying yourself. And most importantly, I don't want you getting into trouble like that anymore. And if someone threatens you, or is scaring you in any manner, then please don't wait and tell me right away. I will always help you, Ayan, no matter what you think, he says, taking your hand and holding it over his heart. Please believe me. And he did. He truly did. The amount of sincerity in his words and the way he held you. You knew his words were nothing if not the truth. Lenny, it may have been odd for anyone else, but he knows the Fatui. He knows how dangerous they can be, and he knows it's not the kind of danger that you can take, which is why he's been consistent about trying his best to get you away from the Fatui, to not involve you with them. You're not the type of person who can handle something like that, which is why he tried his best to prevent you from interacting with them a lot, and keeping you away from them. And he hoped that Arlecchino would not say anything about it, because, well, there were many thoughts he had about this, and he was worried about his father, and what she would think of that behavior. So, Lenny, can I understand why you're just keeping me out of everything? I don't really get your point, or or what you're really trying to do. Well, you see, it is simply that I know you can't take what goes on in there. I personally find it too much myself. Getting involved with the Fatui is not something you can go back on, at least not very easily, and not unless you're very powerful. So, I suppose it's just not the kind of life that I want for you. I know you love me, and I love you as well, but if there is one thing that I don't want us to share, it's this. It's more of a burden than anything. That's not to say that I mean this in a traitorous way. I love my father and my family in the house. It's simply that I know that you won't be able to take it. And I hope that you continue to listen to me and not get yourself involved with them. And if they're so dangerous or bad, why are you a Fatui then? Why do you not stop? Like I said, once you're in there, it's nearly impossible to get out. And most importantly, I didn't really have much of a choice. You know how it was. I was an orphan, so I found myself in this kind of life before I even got to decide what I want. And it's not really that bad for me. I don't really have any regrets. It's simply that sometimes I wish things were better for Rimine and Lynette. But it's all we can do right now. And Father's not really bad with us or anything. She's just a strange person at times. But why I'm saying this is you're just so kind-hearted, and I know you won't be able to take it. So, you understand me now, don't you? I do. You say you feel sorry for him, if anything. You don't want him to be in a kind of life that he feels trapped in. But even if you cannot get him out of whatever he's doing, you can be there for him. And right now, as you wrapped your arms around him and kissed him sweetly, you just hold him and hope that being by your side can at least erase some of the guilt and some of the bad feelings that he feels. You can't fix everything in the world, and you may not be strong enough to be able to do anything about this. But you can be there for him, and that's what matters. And right now, as he smiled and held you in his arms, it seemed like he thought the same as well.